The story begins in the vibrant and passionate city of Vineland, a place where roarball is not just a sport but a way of life, a religion that binds the community together. This is a world where the roar of the crowd echoes through the streets, where children dream of becoming legends, and where the roots of the game run deep into the very soul of the city. Roarball is a high-octane, adrenaline-fueled sport played by anthropomorphic animals. A chaotic and thrilling spectacle that combines the physicality of basketball with the intensity of a gladiatorial contest. The game is played on a variety of wild courts, from icy arenas to volcanic landscapes, and it demands the utmost in skill, strength, and courage from its players. The ultimate prize is the Claw, a championship trophy that every team dreams of winning. At the heart of this world is Jett Fillmore, a 5-time All-Star and the greatest player in the history of roarball. Jett is a legend, a hometown hero who has dedicated her entire life to the game and to the city of Vineland. She is the star of the Vineland Thorns, the local team that has been struggling for years. Despite her incredible talent and her legendary status, Jett has never won a claw. She has come close, but the championship has always eluded her. And the weight of that failure has begun to wear on her. She is a fierce competitor, a player who demands perfection from herself and her teammates. But she is also a woman who is haunted by her past failures and the constant pressure to win. She has spent her entire career chasing the championship, and she is running out of time. The Thorns are a team in disarray. They have talent, but they lack chemistry, and they are plagued by infighting and inconsistency. Their owner, Florence Everson, is more interested in making money than winning games. Their coach, Dennis Cooper, is a well-meaning but somewhat hapless figure who has never been given the respect he deserves. The players are a collection of misfits and has-beens, each with their own personal demons and insecurities. There's Archie, a gentle giant who is more interested in being a good father than a fearsome enforcer. There's Lenny, a talented player who has been traded 10 times in 10 years and has lost his passion for the game. There's Olivia Burke, a former number 1 pick who has never lived up to her potential and is haunted by a viral moment of humiliation. There's Modo, a mysterious and unsettling creature who is an enigma to everyone, even himself. The team is a mess, and they are on the verge of collapse. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, a young goat named Will Harris is dreaming of a life beyond his small apartment. Will is a small animal in a world dominated by bigs, a creature who has been told his entire life that he is too small to play roarball. He is a delivery boy, working a dead-end job to make ends meet, living in a cramped apartment with a demanding landlord, and struggling to keep his dreams alive. But Will has a fire in his heart. He is a student of the game, a devoted fan of Jett Fillmore, and he has spent countless hours honing his skills, practicing his shots, and perfecting his dribbling. He is determined to prove that size doesn't matter, that heart and determination are more important than physical stature. His mother, a wise and supportive woman, always believed in him, and her words of encouragement have stayed with him. She told him to dream big, and he has never let go of that dream. Will's life is a constant struggle. He is behind on his rent, his landlord is threatening to evict him, and he is working long hours at the diner just to get by. But he never gives up on his dream. He trains every day, pushing himself to the limit, and he refuses to let the naysayers and the haters get him down. He believes that if he can just get his chance, he will prove that he belongs in the big leagues. He has a network of friends, Daryl and Hannah, who support him and believe in him, and they are his biggest cheerleaders. Will's big break comes when he challenges Main Attraction, a rival player, to a game at the Cage, a legendary streetball court. Maine is a cocky and arrogant horse who has been trash-talking Vineland and Jett Fillmore. Will, fueled by his loyalty to his city and his hero, steps up to defend his honor. He puts his rent money on the line, and he faces Maine in a high-stakes game of one-on-one. Will is at a massive disadvantage. He is smaller, slower, and weaker than Maine. But he is smarter, quicker, and more determined. He uses his speed, his agility, and his relentless hustle to outmaneuver Maine, and he manages to score on him. The crowd is stunned. A goat has just scored on main attraction. It's a moment of pure magic, a David versus Goliath victory that captures the imagination of the city. The video of Will's victory goes viral, spreading across the internet like wildfire. It captures the attention of Florence Everson, the owner of the Thorns, who sees it as a marketing opportunity. She is desperate to generate buzz and fill seats, and she believes that Will's story is exactly what the team needs. She offers Will a contract to join the Thorns as their sixth player. It is a publicity stunt, a desperate attempt to revive a struggling franchise. Will is ecstatic. This is the opportunity he has been waiting for his entire life. He is going to play for the Vineland Thorns, alongside his hero, Jett Fillmore. But reality is not as simple as a dream. Will's arrival is met with skepticism and hostility. Jett is furious. She sees Will as a gimmick, a distraction, and a threat to her legacy. She refuses to play with him, and she treats him with disdain and contempt. The other players are also wary of him, unsure of what to make of the small goat who has suddenly appeared on their team. Will is an outsider in every sense of the word. He is too small, too inexperienced, and too optimistic for this jaded and cynical group of players. He is ridiculed and dismissed, and he feels like he doesn't belong. Despite the hostility, Will refuses to give up. He is determined to prove his worth, to show that he belongs on this team. He works harder than anyone, practicing his shooting, studying the playbook, and trying to earn the respect of his teammates. He is patient, persistent, and resilient. He endures the taunts and the jeers, and he never loses sight of his goal. He knows that if he can just get a chance to play, he will show them what he can do. He knows that he is not a gimmick, he is a player. Jett, meanwhile, is dealing with her own demons. She is struggling with the weight of her legacy, the burden of her past failures, and the constant pressure to win. She is also dealing with the demands of her owner, Florence, who is more interested in marketing than winning. Jett is on edge, and she is taking out her frustrations on Will and the rest of the team. She is a fierce competitor, but she is also a deeply insecure person, and her insecurities are driving her to self-destruction. She is on the verge of a breakdown, and she doesn't know how to stop it. The turning point of the film comes when the Thorns face off against main attraction and the Magma in a crucial game. Jett is injured, and she is forced to leave the game. The Thorns are on the verge of collapse, and it seems like their season is over. But then, something miraculous happens. Will is put into the game. He is terrified, but he is also determined. He has been waiting for this moment his entire life, and he is not going to waste it. He scores his first point, a historic moment that electrifies the crowd and inspires his teammates. He plays with heart, hustle, and determination, and he helps the Thorns win the game. It is a moment of pure magic, a turning point in the season and in Will's life. He has proven that he belongs, and he has earned the respect of his teammates. The victory is a catalyst for change. The Thorns begin to believe in themselves. They start to play as a team, to trust each other, and to support each other. Jett, witnessing Will's courage and determination, begins to change. She starts to trust her teammates, and she begins to accept Will as a valuable member of the team. She realizes that she cannot do it alone, that she needs her teammates to win. She starts to play with a new sense of purpose, and she becomes a more effective leader. The team goes on a winning streak, and they qualify for the playoffs. They are on the verge of something special, and they are determined to bring a claw to Vineland. The climax of the film is the championship game against the Magma. It is a brutal, back-and-forth battle that pushes both teams to their limits. Jett, fighting through a painful injury, is carrying the team on her back. She is playing with incredible intensity, but she is also struggling. Main attraction is relentless, and he is determined to prove that he is the better player. In the final minutes of the game, Jett is injured again, and she is forced to leave the game for good. The Thorns are down to 5 players, and they are on the verge of defeat. The championship is slipping away, and it seems like their dream is over. But then, something incredible happens. Jett returns to the game, determined to play through the pain. She is not going to give up. She is going to win a claw for Vineland. She is playing on pure adrenaline, and she is unstoppable. She drives to the basket, and she passes the ball to Will, who is wide open. Will catches the ball, and he takes the game-winning shot. The ball goes through the net as the buzzer sounds. The Thorns are champions. The crowd erupts in celebration. Vineland has won its first claw in 50 years. Will is hailed as a hero. He has not only won a championship, but he has also changed the game of roarball forever. He is the first small to ever play professional roarball, and he has proven that size doesn't matter, that heart and determination. Will is hailed as a hero. He has not only won a championship, but he has also changed the game of roarball forever. He is the first small to ever play professional roarball, and he has proven that size doesn't matter, that heart and determination are more important than physical stature. He is a symbol of hope and inspiration for everyone who has ever been told that they are too small, too weak, or too different to achieve their dreams. The crowd chants his name, Will. Will. Will, as he holds the claw trophy high above his head, tears streaming down his face. He looks out at the sea of fans, and he sees his friends Daryl and Hannah going absolutely crazy in the stands, hugging each other and screaming with joy. He sees Theo, his young friend who always believed in him, jumping up and down with pure excitement. He sees his landlord Frank, who had threatened to evict him, now cheering louder than anyone. He sees the entire city of Vineland celebrating as one. The roots of the city run deep, and tonight, those roots have produced something truly special. Jett Fillmore, the goat of roarball, watches Will with a mixture of pride and emotion. She has finally won a championship. The one thing that has eluded her throughout her entire legendary career. She has done it not alone, but with the help of her teammates, including the young goat who refused to give up on his dream. She limps over to Will, her injured leg still throbbing with pain, and she embraces him. "We did it, kid," she whispers, her voice cracking with emotion. "We really did it." Will hugs her back, feeling the weight of the moment. He has not only achieved his dream but has also helped his hero achieve hers. They are champions, and they are forever bonded by this incredible journey. The celebration continues in the locker room, where champagne is flying, music is blasting, and the team is letting loose in a way they never have before. Archie is being tackled by his 2 daughters, who have somehow snuck into the locker room. They are screaming with joy, their little faces beaming with pride. "Daddy is a champion," they shout, hugging him tightly. Archie, the gentle giant who always put his family first, is overcome with emotion. He has not only won a championship but has also shown his daughters that hard work, dedication, and love can achieve anything. He lifts them both up, spinning them around as they laugh and cheer. Lenny, the 10-year veteran who had been traded 10 times in 10 years, is finally holding a championship trophy. He looks at it in disbelief, tears streaming down his face. He had given up on himself, had lost his passion for the game, but this team had brought it back. "I'm a champion," he shouts, his voice echoing through the room. "I'm actually a champion." He raises the claw high above his head, and his teammates erupt in cheers. He has finally found a home. A team that believes in him, and he has proven to himself and to everyone else that he is not a bust, but a champion. Olivia Burke, the former #1 pick who had been haunted by the infamous poster moment, is dancing with pure joy. She has finally shed the weight of her past, the humiliation and the self-doubt that had held her back for so long. She had been embarrassed, ridiculed, and written off, but she had never given up. She had fought through her insecurities, and she had emerged as a key player in the championship run. She is no longer the bird who got posterized. She is a bird who can fly, who can soar, who can win. She looks at her reflection in the trophy and smiles. She is finally proud of who she is. Modo, the mysterious and unsettling creature, is sitting in the corner, a creepy smile on his face. He has been the quiet force behind the team's success, the secret owner who had bought the team to keep them in Vineland. He rasps and mutters, his voice barely audible, but his teammates understand. "Modo is icon," they chant, and he nods in appreciation. He had invested in this team, not for money, but for the love of the game and the love of Vineland. He had seen the potential in this group of misfits and outcasts, and he had been proven right. He is not just a player, he is the owner, the one who had saved the team from relocation. The Thorns are staying in Vineland, and they have a bright future ahead of them. Florence Everson, the former owner who had tried to sell the team, is nowhere to be found. She had been outsmarted by Modo, who had bought the team out from under her nose. She had underestimated the team, the city, and the power of their roots. The Vineland Thorns are no longer her team. They belong to the people, to the players, and to Modo. Her greed and her lack of faith had been her undoing. And she is forced to watch from the sidelines as the team celebrates the victory that she never believed was possible. The celebration spills out of the locker room and into the streets of Vineland. The entire city has gathered to welcome their champion. On's home. Fireworks explode in the sky, painting the night with brilliant colors. The streets are filled with fans, all wearing Thorns jerseys, all chanting, "Roots run deep." Will is hoisted onto the shoulders of his teammates, and he is paraded through the streets like a conquering hero. He waves to the crowd, his heart overflowing with gratitude. He had dreamed of this moment his entire life, but he had never imagined it would be this incredible. The parade ends at the greenhouse, the stadium where it all began. The team takes the stage, and the crowd goes wild. Jett Fillmore steps up to the microphone, her voice trembling with emotion. "Vineland," she begins. "I have played this game for 15 years. I have given everything I have to this city and to this team. And tonight, we did it. We brought the claw home." The crowd erupts in cheers. And Jett continues, "But I couldn't have done it alone. I want to thank my teammates. I want to thank Coach Dennis. And I want to thank Will Harris." She looks at Will, who is standing beside her, tears in his eyes. "Will, you showed me that it's not about being the biggest or the strongest. It's about heart, it's about determination, and it's about never giving up on your dream. You are the true GOAT." Will steps up to the microphone, his hands trembling. He looks out at the crowd, at the sea of faces that have supported him, believed in him, and cheered for him. He thinks about his mother, who had always believed in him, who had told him to dream big. He wishes she could be here to see this moment. He clears his throat and speaks. I don't even know what to say, he begins. I grew up in this city. I grew up watching Jett Fillmore. She was my hero. And now I get to stand here with her, holding this claw. It's a dream come true. The crowd cheers, and Will continues, my mom always told me to dream big. She told me that I could do anything I set my mind to. And I know that she's up there, looking down on me, and she's proud. He pauses, wiping away a tear. This championship is for her. It's for Vineland. And it's for everyone who has ever been told that they're too small, too weak, or too different. Because tonight, we prove that anything is possible. The crowd erupts in cheers, and the team embraces Will. They are champions, and they are family. The Vineland Thorns have won the claw, and they have done it together. The roots of the city run deep, and they will never be broken. The celebration continues late into the night, but eventually, the crowd begins to disperse, and the team heads back to the locker room. They are exhausted, but they are also euphoric. They sit together, reliving the highlights of the game, laughing and crying and celebrating their victory. It is a moment they will never forget. A moment that will be etched into the history of Vineland forever. Will sits alone for a moment, looking at the claw trophy. He can't believe it's real. He had spent his entire life dreaming of this moment, and now it is here. He had faced so many obstacles, so much doubt, so much rejection. But he had never given up. He had kept pushing, kept believing, kept dreaming. And now, he is a champion. He thinks about his mother, and he whispers, I did it, Mom. I made it. He feels a warmth in his heart, a sense of peace and fulfillment. He had achieved his dream, and he had done it on his own terms. Jett approaches him, limping slightly, but with a smile on her face. You okay, kid? She asks, sitting down beside him. Will nods. Yeah, I'm great. Jett looks at the claw, then at Will. You know, I've been playing this game for 15 years. I've won a lot of games, scored a lot of points, broken a lot of records. But this, she gestures to the trophy, this is the best moment of my career. And it's because of you. Will looks at her, surprised. Me? He asks. Jett nods. Yeah, you. You reminded me why I love this game. You reminded me that it's not about being the best. It's about being a team. It's about having fun. And it's about never giving up. She puts her hand on his shoulder. Thank you, Will, for everything. Will smiles. Thank you, Jett, for being my hero. For inspiring me to dream big. Jett laughs. I think you're the one who inspired me, kid. They sit together in silence for a moment, two champions, two friends, two legends of the game. The rest of the team joins them, and they spend the night laughing and celebrating. Modo, who has been surprisingly quiet, stands up and raises his glass. To the Vineland Thorns, he rasps, his voice barely audible. The team raises their glasses. To the Thorns. They drink, and the celebration continues. The next day, the team is honored at a ceremony in City Hall. The mayor presents them with the keys to the city, and Jett gives a speech, thanking the fans, the city, and her teammates. She announces that she is retiring from roarball, ending her career on the highest possible note. She is going out on top, a champion, a legend, and a hero. The crowd gives her a standing ovation, and she walks off the stage, her head held high. The years pass, and Will continues to play for the Thorns. He becomes a star in his own right, a symbol of hope and inspiration for a new generation of smalls. He never forgets his roots, and he always gives back to his community. He opens a youth center in South Vineland, where he coaches kids and teaches them the value of hard work, determination, and teamwork. He is a role model, a a leader, and a champion. Jett Fillmore's legacy lives on. She is inducted into the Roarball Hall of Fame, and her jersey is retired by the Thorns. She is remembered as one of the greatest players of all time. A fierce competitor and a true champion. She and Will remain close friends, and they often reunite to reminisce about their championship run. The Vineland Thorns continue to thrive. They become a dynasty, winning multiple championships in the years that follow. The roots of the city run deep, and the Thorns are the heart and soul of Vineland. The team's success inspires a new generation of players, and the city becomes a hub for roarball talent. Will eventually retires, but he remains a beloved figure in Vineland. He is a hero, a legend, and a symbol of hope. He had proven that anything is possible, that dreams can come true, and that the roots of a city can produce something truly extraordinary. The story of Will Harris, the GOAT who became a champion, is told and retold for generations. It is a story of hope, determination, and the power of believing in yourself. And it is a story that will never be forgotten.